Welcome to One-on-One, in this case, One-on-Two. Welcome to very special guests. John Koufos is Executive Director at New Jersey Reentry Corporation, and Larry Lustberg, Chair, Criminal Defense at Gibbons PC, one of the most impressive law firms around. Guys, we are talking second chances for ex-offenders. Put this in context and also let everybody know what the New Jersey Reentry Corporation is.
Thank you. So the New Jersey Reentry Corporation is dedicated to helping people who have criminal backgrounds rebuild their lives and get employed. So typically the person who has a felony background has drug addiction issues, housing issues, and specifically has a series of old fines, old warrants, and old tickets. The New Jersey Reentry Corporation works together to clear those up with social service providers, lawyers, and other networks.
Brother, we're involved in a public awareness initiative about ex-offenders and where they can get information to in cooperation with your group. I hate to call it this, the Reader's Digest version of your experience and why you care personally about this.
Sure. So for about the first 10 years of my life, I was a criminal trial attorney. But more important than that, I was an alcoholic. Active alcoholism for 20 years. And in 2011, I made a horrible decision to drive drunk. And I hit somebody and tried to lie my way out of it. My addiction caught up with me with disastrous consequences for another person. I went to prison for that. And I got to see what so many of my clients had been going through for the roughly decade I had represented them. And when I had gotten out, I had asked Governor McGreevey to allow me to volunteer at a program.
Governor McGreevey is actively involved as the leader of New Jersey Reentry.
He is. He's our board chair and a tremendous leader in this field. And he gave me the opportunity to volunteer in Jersey City. And from there, he allowed me to be part of the building of the New Jersey Reentry Corporation. So for me, this is a daily atonement, the work I do.
And Larry, with Gibbons, a firm we know very well, what is the connection between you and this organization?
There really are two connections, Steve. First, our firm provides counsel, attorneys, to New Jersey Reentry Corp to assist them in exactly the mission that John has just described. In addition, I'm involved in attempting to move forward an agenda that would liberalize New Jersey's expungement provisions, which—
Quote, liberalize New Jersey's expungement policies. Break that down, concrete.
Okay. So expungement is if you have a criminal record, whether it's based on a felony, which we call a crime, or a misdemeanor, which we call a disorderly persons offense here in New Jersey, it's really getting a second chance. That's what expungement is all about. Expungement is all about giving people a second opportunity to wipe the record clean so that they can start their life anew and achieve some of what New Jersey Reentry Corp is trying to do.
Where does New Jersey rank in terms of this expungement effort, giving second chances to ex-offenders, compared to other states in the nation?
It's remarkable, Steve, because we think of ourselves in New Jersey as a progressive state, and I think we all think of ourselves as forgiving people who will give people a second chance, and yet New Jersey ranks very low. States like Arkansas and Mississippi and Utah and Kentucky and Minnesota and Indiana are states that have far better expungement laws than we do. For example, those are states where you can get expungement more quickly. Our current law here in New Jersey makes you wait 10 years. In those states, it's 5 years or less.
And the types of crimes that can be expunged include?
So you're talking about felony, what would be felony equivalent to misdemeanors. Some are going to be non-expungible, your murders, sex offenses, things of that nature.
They're off the table.
Right, there's no expungement.
What's on the table?
Oh, I mean, offenses that people recover from every day, drug possession, right? Certain types of drug distribution, certain types of aggravated assault, things of that nature.
So here's the thing, devil's advocate question that cries out to be asked. I know people watching us right now on public broadcasting, FiOS, digital platforms are asking, Steve, ask why people who've broken the law, quote, should get a second chance. You do the crime, you do the time, that's it. That's not our job to worry about you getting a second chance. A lot of people thinking that, you say?
Two things, Steve. First of all, as a practical matter, it's just better for the world. If people don't get a second chance, they may go on the welfare rolls, they may go back to prison, and the statistics are overwhelming that they will.
How expensive is that?
Incredibly expensive. Hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars per year are spent on recidivism. If we can help going back, if we can help them so that they don't go back to jail and instead live productive and law-abiding lives, then they are then contributing to society, paying taxes, and it's a lot less expensive just as a practical matter. But there's a moral element to this as well. As a society, since time immemorial, we believe in forgiveness. We believe that if people make mistakes, which we all do, every one of us, even you, make mistakes, and you should, and when that happens, you should get a second chance. It's just compassionate.
John, let me ask you this. You deal directly with your clients.
Sure.
What kinds of issues are they facing, A and B? What kind of turnarounds have you seen that really stand out for our audience that matter?
Sure. I mean, the first part with our clients, right? No one should be judged for something they did on their worst day if they're willing to earn that second chance. And what I mean by that, and I'll personalize it, right? If you're willing to participate in treatment, if you're going to handle the root causes of why you committed your crimes, mine being alcohol, if you're willing to handle that addiction, we think you've earned your second chance. So we have clients who have to resolve their addiction issues while they have to comply with different conditions of supervision, while they have to try to find a job to an unforgiving job market. And by the way, while they also have to handle old tickets and old warrants from things they might have done in their addiction.
Is that a problem?
It's a huge problem. So what happens is this. Folks will get any number of municipal court violations in one of the municipal courts around the state. They'll go to prison. Oftentimes, those violations have nothing to do with whatever they pled guilty to or were found guilty of.
What happens when they get out?
So they exist. So what happens is the DOC will make it so you can get out.
Department of Corrections.
Yes, thank you. We'll make it so you don't have a detainer, but they'll give you a court date. If you don't go to the court date, or if you can't pay the hundreds or thousands of dollars in fines and penalties
They're
you've
coming
accrued,
after you again.
Of course, you're getting
And then
rearrested.
you're going back.
And then you don't, but in addition, Steve, you don't go to treatment because you're in county jail for that offense. You've lost your housing, and if you were lucky enough to have a job, you've lost it.
And the lawyers come in where there?
Well, we help the two ways. As I said before, we help John and his troops to go to court with people, to help them resolve their violations, whether it's past parking tickets, whether it's warrants that are there that shouldn't be. These require often court orders, and so the clients who otherwise can't afford counsel are accompanied by lawyers from Gibbons and other firms as well to help them clear their records.
We've built a network, thanks to Gibbons, thanks to New Jersey State Bar Association, the Young Lawyers
Great
Division.
organization.
Yeah. They allowed me to speak in 2015 with Governor McGreevey and then speak every year in Atlantic City on this issue. And thanks to their partnership, we have 70 pro bono lawyers in total across the state in all 21 counties. Zero.
They believe in the cause.
They do. And the thing is, when you get to see a client go from just out of prison with all of these fines to now they actually have a driver's license, now they're able to apply to organized labor, to a building trade union, to get a real job, to get a CDL, to become a truck driver, and to restore the dignity of work candidly.
CDL is a commercial driver's license?
Yes. It's one of the most motivating things I've ever been a part of in my career.
Well, final question for you. We've known each other a long time. We've talked about law. We've talked about philanthropy. We've talked about a lot of things. Greatest satisfaction you get out of this work personally?
I became a lawyer in order to help people. And a lot of lawyers say that, but their careers don't give them the opportunity to do it. Gibbons has given me a great opportunity to do it with the Gibbons Fellowship Program, which I run and does all kinds of important pro bono cases. But this is at a personal level where you can represent somebody and help them to turn their lives around. It embodies the whole idea of a counselor at law who really doesn't just go to court and make legal arguments, but works on the personal level with the clients.
And finally, I just wanted to acknowledge that Gibbons is a supporter of public broadcasting, as are a whole range of other folks in the legal community. I want to thank you, John, and thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Important.
Steve.
By the way, go on our website to find out more about prisoner reentry, about ex-offenders and the issues they face. Find out more about this issue. It affects all of us. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
We're right back, I think, with one-on-one right after this, not one-on-two. Take care.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Felician University, Bartley Healthcare, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Johnson & Johnson, New Jersey Sharing Network, Fedway Associates, and by Verizon. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.